Hello, babies. It's time for night talk. Are you ready? Let's snuggle in. Let's snuggle in. There's my cat. Ooh. Let's just snuggle in for night talk. Let's take these off because we don't need them. I don't have to be perfect, and neither do you. That's the thing. We think we have to be perfect all the time. That we have to always say the most perfect thing. And on this full moon in Aquarius, I think it is, I'm not sure exactly. Full moon. I was in a yoga class and we were talking about letting things go. And I was giving myself space to not be perfect and I was letting go of two things. I was letting go of perfection because the thing is, I have this idea that I have to always be the most perfect leftist, most perfect person, and I always have to say things properly, and I always have to not be misconstrued because, again, it'll put me in this villain cycle that people will think that I'm just like a bad person, or that, because I feel like I'm worried that it's going to start an argument or people are going to hate me if I don't use the proper wording or if I don't communicate to the best of my ability and use the most proper language possible. And sometimes, and I feel like language fails us. And the thing about it is I have to let that go. That sometimes people want to misrepresent you, and sometimes it's nothing that you do. It's just that you're not always going to be perfect. You are human, you are fallible, and you sometimes are going to not say the most perfect thing possible, that you're not going to use the most proper language, and that it's okay as long as you try your best and you lead with your heart and you try to the best of your ability and you lead with love, then that's all that matters. Sometimes you have to set boundaries and think of yourself, but most of the time, if you lead with love and care and kindness, then yeah. But the other thing that I was trying to let go of on this full moon was delusions. And that's really hard to do, being that I am mentally ill. People are like, oh, I have delusions too. I'm like, I have delusions that I have gotten on planes for and flown across the country and walked willy-nilly in other cities. Have you gotten on a plane at midnight and flown across the country on a red eye simply to walk with no money for 18 hours for your delusions? Because I have in a foreign city, only to be in the hospital in a foreign city. Because I have. I mean, that's like extreme behavior, but like, yeah. My delusions make me do very extreme things sometimes. Make me believe and do certain things that are disordered. And I want to work on letting them go. I was not trying to let go of my paranoia. That where can I release it? Giving myself grace on that. Giving myself breathing room on it. You know, sometimes things just build up, and I think the worst of people, that people are like watching me or like out to get me or like thinking I'm weird or like, you know, out to get me or like surveillancing me. Sometimes I think like I'm a secret celebrity of some kind. I worry about that. Or like that I'm like that I have a much bigger online presence than I do. I have delusions about that like the numbers don't reflect what is actually happening. That like, even though I have like, maybe like, because that like my views are like much higher than what is represented, and that's not the case, but like that I'm like living in like a shielded bubble or something, that like I have much higher views than what is being represented, that like, yeah, or something like that, that like I'm not being shown what is actually the case, that people like see my content and like that I have, or that like I have like a much bigger reach than what is being represented. That's like a delusion that I have, that like I have a bigger online presence than I do. That's like a delusion that I have. So then like it makes it so that I feel very uncomfortable in being perceived in public, because I think that people like recognize me and like that I'm like this celebrity of sorts, and that people are like watching me and stuff, but like they refuse to acknowledge it because like I'm not meant to be like acknowledged or something, or like that I'm not supposed to be like interacted with or something, that like people are like not supposed to get close to me or something. That's like a delusion that I have, that like I am being protected or something from people like interacting with me or something. That's like a weird delusion that I have. So like I get paranoid about being around people sometimes. I don't really talk about this. It's like something that I deal with. This like why I think like I'm in a movie, and like why I have a hard time with like crowds and stuff, is because like I worry about like being perceived. That's like part of the perception thing, is like I worry about like being in crowds and like why I have a hard time with like people looking at me or something is because like I feel as though like I'm supposedly much more popular than I think I am, is because like I think that people know me more than I think I do. They think I think I do, or I think I think that people know me more than I should be known or something. But like, I think that I'm much more loved and hated than I think I realize or something. Or like people have like stronger opinions than I perceive them to be. But like I'm being protected from those opinions, and like that I'm not being shown those opinions online. Or like I'm being shown a fraction of the opinions that people have of me. Is that weird? I guess it's weird. I don't really think about stuff like that. So, this is, I don't know. I kind of feel weird about doing night talk. I know that my friend Donnie said he really likes night talk because he says it's like kind of like relaxing for him. But I feel like this is kind of like my intrusive thoughts that I like talk about like all the things that like bother me and stuff, and what things that I worry about and like things that I think about. So like, I don't know. Sometimes I worry that like I'm doing too much. I worry about that, about like, like that's something I worry about like in life, that like I worry about being just, I think that has to do with like part of like my this kind of like something that I've always worried about, like, because that's like part of the mental illness, and like part of the bipolar is like manic behavior always makes it so that like you feel like you're too much, or like that you're just like, because like you can just be like dialed up to be like really like intense, because like I have these like intense feelings and these intense emotions, and like I can be like really hyper focused on something for like when I'm unmedicated especially. But like when I get into these like manic behaviors or like manic things, or like even like these intense things, I can be like a lot, and it can be like really overwhelming or like overstimulating for people. So like I always worry that like I'm doing too much, or like that I'm too much, or like that I'm just like talking too much, or that like I'm just annoying, or that like I'm just overwhelming, or like that people can't meet me on my level, or like that, I'm just, because like I can go intense on like a lot of things, or like I can get a lot of stuff done on a lot of different things in a short period of time if I stick my mind to it. And some people think that I can hold on a job or something like that, but I can't focus on a job, because I can't, when I work a job, I become like ultra paranoid, and like I become like erratic, and like I can't work a 9 to 5, and like I will go like really intense on a job, and like I might be able to do it for like maybe like a couple weeks, but then like the paranoia and like the depression, I'll like cycle through like depression and paranoia and depression and like delusions and like erratic emotions. Like I can't, I'm just like all over the place. Like I just can't hold down a job anymore. Like I'm just not, like, even with medication, even with all of my coping strategies, even with like meditation and yoga and eating a vegan diet, a vegetarian diet, even with exercise, I'm still like, every so often, like every couple years, like even every like 6 months or so, I have to like watch myself or like up my medication because I might end up in the hospital. But even every like 3 years, even as I watch myself, I still might end up hospitalized. And like, that's the thing is like, I'm just like, I just worry that I'm like too much, or that I'm doing too much, or that I'm like overwhelming, or that and like, it's all because I have these like intrusive thoughts and just like, I'm just too much, that I'm just like overwhelming. And it's just because like, it comes from like all this delusional thinking that I'm having. So like, I'm just trying to release that this balloon, just trying to like give myself grace and just like bring it down a little bit and just like calm down and just be like, you know what? Okay. So people, and I try to say that like people aren't always going to like me, and that's okay. I talked about that yesterday. Sometimes people aren't going to like you. People aren't going to like me. People aren't going to like everything that you do, and that's okay. And like, even if like, I'm talking about this because like maybe you can relate to this, like maybe you can relate to the fact that like sometimes you just might be doing too much, and that's okay. Like, and like maybe the point is that you just have to find people that like will meet you on your level. And like, it's always good to have friends that like will meet you on your level. Like, having people that are extra, because I'm extra. I'm super extra. I there's a phrase that people have been talking about, which is like called quiet on the creek. I am not a person who is quiet on the creek. I am super loud, obnoxious, annoying on the creek. I'm just not quiet on the creek. I just not. I have never been quiet on the creek. And I cannot be quiet on the creek. It's just not in my nature to be quiet on the creek. I do podcasts with my friends, and like I make videos, and I draw, and I write essays, and I do Patreons, and I do all sorts of stuff. I am not quiet on the creek. I am not a quiet on the creek person. I'm a content creator. I am not quiet on the creek. This is not my personality. It will never be my personality to be quiet on the creek. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but that's just who I am. I start arguments. I make commentary. I make TikToks. I make Instagram posts. I do so much. I'm so extra. I'm doing too much. God, I don't know how people aren't super annoyed with me. They're like, you again. It's like people don't. I don't know how anyone supports me at all. Like, I don't know how people don't like. God, super. Ari, you're super fucking annoying. God, it's you. You. But the thing about it is I will watch other people. Like, I'll watch my friend Donnie, or I'll watch other people online, and I will watch their videos all the way through, and I will eat their shit up with a spoon. I will love that. So why wouldn't they love me? Is the thing. Like, they are not annoying. Like, other people, like, they think that they're annoying, and I think that they are the best thing since sliced bread. I think that they are like, I think the sun shines out their ass. I think that they are the most amazing creatures ever. So why wouldn't I think I was just as amazing as they are? Like, I tell people all the time, like, like my friend Pokey, I think that she is amazing, but I think that she thinks that she's annoying, and she's not. And she gets like, she goes into these periods of where she'll like post for a while, and then she like falls silent, and it's like, is it because she gets like depressed, or like that she doesn't feel like she needs to post anything? But like it's sort of like feeling like, I don't know. Does she get like I am, where it's like feeling like you just like feel like you're doing too much, and you're just like, do I have anything to say? Like, and it's sort of like people feel like, repetition of posts. Do you feel like you've all said everything you need to say, and then you don't feel like you need to post anymore? I don't know. It's interesting. But, yeah. So I found out, because I've been working on ways in my weight loss to, speaking of Pokey, because whenever I think of Pokey, I think about like my weight loss journey, because she inspires me on my weight loss journey. And like, there are a few people I watch, because there's Barbara, Unglamorous Glow on YouTube. Check her out. She is amazing. She gives great tips for weight loss. She told me about Half Size Me, which is a podcast that I was listening to about weight loss. She tells me about like all different weight loss tips, and like food tips, and like workout tips and stuff. Barbara was telling me about that. Unglamorous Glow. So she gave me like a bunch of book recommendations and stuff like that, and like podcast recommendations. And I was like, God, she's so great. Like Barbara is just so great. But like, so where was I going with this? So one of the things that I was doing was working out a weight loss program for myself. And I was like making an ebook for myself. I don't know if I'm ever going to sell it, or if I'm just going to put it on like my Patreon or something. But like, I was like working out like a journaling guide for myself to work through things, necessarily, of like ways of like keeping yourself from like overeating, and like working through like mindful eating and things like that. Because, or like how I worked through mindful eating. But like, one of the biggest things that I do is like, I journal a lot when I feel like I'm going to like, overeat, or like I reach for my journal when I feel like I start to overeat, or like I get into that cycle of overeating. Like that's what I've been doing the last like week or so, is every time I start to like reach for food, that I'm getting in that like, hinging, where I'm like, I start to like overeat on calories, and I'm like getting into that cycle of like, oh, I'm starting to overeat. I'll like interrupt the cycle by like reaching for my journal and like journaling my feelings, and like, oh, I'm actually feeling like tired or anxious right now. And like, what am I doing? What am I really feeling right now? And it's like, oh, actually, I'm feeling like anxious right now. And like, why am I feeling anxious? Or like, oh, I'm feeling tired right now. And like, this is like a way of me like feeling like I need to go to bed. Or like, oh, I didn't have a full meal, so I'm snacking because I'm trying to like, make up for the fact that I didn't eat a full meal tonight. So I'm like making up the calories by like trying to fill it with something small. Or like I'm feeling like I didn't get enough tonight because that meal didn't feel fulfilling, or I I didn't feel fulfilled by what I ate tonight. So, or I wasn't satisfied by what I ate tonight. So, like, I'm trying to get something extra by what I'm eating. But, like, one of the things that I noticed is one of my biggest trigger foods is chocolate. Like, I can definitely easily overeat on chocolate. And one of the biggest things that Half Size Me talked about was finding like smaller, lower, like small things in your diet that you can swap that are like lower calorie swaps for things that you like enjoy. So I can easily eat 400 or 500 calories in chocolate. And so I swapped it with like 40 calorie fudge pops, which are like ice cream pops that are like chocolate, or like pudding pops. So I allow myself like 1 to 3 of those. So those are like 40 calories each. So they're like 120 calories versus like 500 calories of chocolate. So, I mean, it's not a huge difference, but it's enough difference that like it's a noticeable difference in my calorie counting every day, that like it makes a difference in how much I'm eating a day, and like that I'm staying within my calorie deficit now, because I am not overeating in chocolate every day, because I found a calorie swap that's like lowering my calorie count. And like another thing I found is like I eat these like rice cakes called Drizzlicious, and they're so good. I have to watch myself around those because those are so good. But they're only like 90 calories for like 21 pieces, so like several handfuls of them. The bags are definitely not big enough. And I bought 2 bags of them before, like just a few days ago, and they're already gone. Both bags are gone. But I bought the birthday cake and I bought the cookies and cream. And I just like eat a handful here and there. Like I'll take a handful and I'll just eat them. But they're so good, and like there's so few calories that like you can just, you know, if you're just like feeling like a little snack, like you can just like eat a couple handfuls here and there, and like, but I just go through them so fast. And it's only like 450 calories for a whole bag. So it's like eating like a candy bar or something for a whole bag. So I don't know. It's good. But I don't know. I don't really want to talk about food. But I am doing good. I am enjoying life, and I am working on having and I'm doing really good recently. Like I'm working on my relationship with myself, and yes, because I'm worth it, and I'm working on not being so emotional about food. I think that's important, to work on not being emotional about food. And like not eating when you're tired, and like not eating when you're anxious. I think that's important. I love that my cat sits in the background of my videos. He likes hanging out in bed with me at night. My cat sleeps next to me. How long are we at? We're at 29 minutes. Do you enjoy these videos? I enjoy these videos. They're very nice. I should probably go to bed soon. I think that's all we have for tonight. I think that's good. I think we're good. This is a good talk. I feel really good about tonight. I had a good conversation with Donnie too. I felt really good about my conversation with Donnie. It's always good to catch up with Donnie. I had been missing Donnie because Donnie and I hadn't talked in like a few days. And like, whenever I don't talk to Donnie, I like miss Donnie. Like, we won't talk for like, a few days. And then I'll be like, I wonder what Donnie's up to. I miss Donnie. And then every time we talk, I'm like, it's so good to talk to Donnie. But then I'll send him like a billion TikToks. I'll send him like 3 or 4 TikToks back to back. And they'll be like about stuff that like I think is relevant. I abuse people in TikTok. Like I will send people so many TikToks and I'll be like, this is relevant to your interest. I'm just like cultivating their For You page through personal messages. Like, oh God, I'm so annoying. I'm too much. I'm too much. I'm so sorry if you are friends with me in TikTok and I send you a bunch of TikToks. I just think it might be relevant to your interest. I should just like repost it, but I don't want to repost it to everybody always. But like, I just think that you might like it. I'm sorry. I sent a bunch of jokes to my sister and she said, you need to tell my stepdad this. You need to tell Bob those jokes. And I said, I do. Like, here's a joke for you. What do you call a magician that's lost their magic? Ian. Ian. Too much. You're too much. Anyway, I love you. Stay safe out there on the full moon. If you're a werewolf, keep a stash of clothes nearby. Okay, I'm at 32 minutes. I should go. My kitten's nearby. Oh, did I tell you I had a nightmare last night? It was horrifying. Do you know about this? So there was like a phenomenon like a few years ago that there was like a man that people would see. They were like, have you seen this man in your dreams? And it was like this guy who had like a weird comb over, but he looked kind of like vaguely like a serial killer. Do you know what I'm talking about? The guy that everybody saw in their dreams, but he looked kind of like Ted Bundy, but he wasn't Ted Bundy. But like people said they saw him in their dreams. Do you know what I'm talking about? Maybe I should like do an overlay, but there's like, he had dark hair and he looked a certain way, but I saw that man in my dreams and he chased me. He like ran after me in my dreams. But they were like, that man that everybody sees in their dreams, he like had long legs and long arms and his face like was pressed up against me and he like chased after me in my dream. And it was like horrifying. He got long teeth and it was like, why is this man chasing me? But like it was so weird. Like I don't know how it started, but like his face was like pressed up against it and he was like looking at me and he was like he had like long things and his face was like deadpan and he was like chasing me. And I was like, why is this man chasing me? It was like uncanny, but like it was really weird. And I was like, this feels uncomfortable. But like I woke up and I like fell down a pit and he was gonna jump down to like eat me. But like an angel saved me. I don't think he was a demon necessarily, but he was like the man that everybody sees in their dreams. Tell me you know what I'm talking about. Tell me you know what I'm talking about. It's like the man that everybody sees in their dreams. I don't know how to describe it besides the man that everybody sees in their dreams. It's like he looks vaguely Italian, but he's not Italian. He's just this random guy that everybody sees in their dreams. I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, we're at 36 minutes. I should probably go. But like, I don't hear anybody talking about this man anymore. But like, it was like a thing back in like 2016, 2017. Everybody talked about this man that they saw in their dreams, but like nobody talks about him anymore. No, everybody talks about the mall now. And I'm like, that was something that nobody talked about. Like back then, they always talked about the man they saw in their dreams. And like that was like a big thing. I don't know. Is that weird? I don't know. Anyway, I'm at 38 minutes now. I gotta go. I should go to bed. It's late. It's gonna take forever for this upload. Okay. Thanks for watching. Do all the things like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.